Good morning, Mr. Proddy. Is that better?
The movie starts with a man named Nick who is deeply in love with his wife, Maggie. They're enjoying a sweet, romantic moment filled with love and affection, but their happiness is suddenly shattered when Maggie starts having severe chest pain. Things escalate quickly, and she's rushed to the hospital after running some tests. The doctors deliver shocking news to Nick. Maggie needs emergency heart surgery if she's going to survive. Nick is overwhelmed with worry, but he tries to stay strong for his family. Unfortunately, Maggie's recovery will take time, and she has to stay in the hospital. This leaves Nick to take care of their 2 children on his own. He struggles to balance his job in raising the kids, and the weight of it all starts to get heavier by the day one day, hoping to bring some joy into his daughter Isla, and maybe even find some help. Nick takes her to a robotics show. The event showcases various robots designed to assist with household tasks.
Daddy, look how real they are.
Which includes the 3 C's, cooking, cleaning, and childcare. Constantly evolving to fit your needs.
What do you think about it, Buck? I know.
While in the robot shop, Nick realizes Isla has wandered off without telling him. He frantically searches for her, and then notices one of the robots gently guiding her back. This robot named Alice approaches Nick and introduces herself. Nick, feeling overwhelmed by the demands of managing both his home and work life, is hesitant, but also sees the potential help Alice, the robot, could offer.
Daddy, look how real they are.
Which includes the 3 C's, cooking, cleaning, and childcare. Constantly evolving to fit your needs.
What do you think about it, Buck? I know.
Balancing everything has become a real challenge for him one day. As he's trying to handle it all, he hears the doorbell. When Nick opens the door, he's surprised to find Alice standing there with her luggage. She happily greets him with a good morning and asks if she can come in after school.
Been meaning to fix that.
I'm happy to do it for you. Is there anyone else you would like to grant primary user status?
No, I guess not.
Isla comes home, and Alice prepares and serves dinner for the family. The meal is a hit, and everyone enjoys it. Later that night, Isla gets hungry and decides to grab some cookies from a jar that's placed high up in the kitchen. She climbs onto a chair to reach it, but as she tries to take the jar, she loses her balance and falls. Nick, busy working in another room, hears the commotion and rushes to the kitchen. When he arrives, he sees that Alice has already stepped in, catching Isla just before she hits the floor. However, in the process, Alice gets injured by some broken glass from the jar. Nick notices this and follows Alice into another room where she's calmly tending to her wound, applying bandages to the injury.
They're Maggie's.
Thank you.
Is the damage bad?
Everything's perfect, Nick.
The next day, Nick and Isla visit Maggie in the hospital. Alice goes with them into the room, but soon steps out to give Nick and Maggie some private time. This allows the couple to share romantic moments and talk about their situation without any interruptions. At work,
I don't know about any marathons, but there were some 4-minute miles there.
What are you guys laughing about?
Your father's inadequacy.
Nick gets into a tense argument with his boss. The conversation revolves around a complaint that all the construction workers might be replaced by robots, although Nick, being the foreman, is safe from being replaced. The rest of his crew is not his boss reminds him that he has a family to support, including paying for Maggie's medical expenses. Feeling overwhelmed and stressed, Nick heads back home while Nick works on fixing his car. Alice notices his distress and asks him what's wrong. Nick shares his frustration about his boss's plan to replace many of his co-workers with robots. He's been working with these people for the last 10 years, and it's hard for him to accept the idea of their replacement. Alice, trying to comfort him, explains the advantages of robotics. She tells Nick that robots are efficient, fast, and obedient, making them ideal for many tasks. She also emphasizes how robots can perform with high precision and reliability. Later, Alice helps Isla brush her teeth, and Azella curiously asks why Alice doesn't need to brush her own teeth.
Is my mom gonna die?
Maybe you shouldn't think about it.
Why don't you ever brush your teeth? Whoa.
As Nick relaxes in front of the TV, Alice joins him, and they talk about watching the classic movie Casablanca. Nick learns that he can erase specific memories from Alice, allowing her to experience the movie as if it were the first time. This moment highlights Alice's advanced capabilities and her ability to adapt. Shortly after, Nick receives exciting news. The hospital has scheduled Maggie's heart transplant surgery, and after the procedure, she will finally be able to come home. The family visits Maggie in the hospital before her surgery. During a private moment, Maggie asks to speak with Alice alone.
Would you like me to help you, Mrs. Proddy?
You're washing my husband's underwear. I think you can call me Maggie. Don't get me wrong, I intend to come out of this swinging, but if I don't,
You mean if you die?
the kids will be okay. Nick will take care of them. He hides the bottles in the garage. Take them away if you have to.
Nick is my primary user. I can't.
You can.
The next day, a severe storm up north prevents the much-anticipated heart transplant from arriving. This delay brings a heavy wave of frustration and sadness, especially for Maggie and her family that night. Overwhelmed by the situation and all the stress of the delays, Nick turns to alcohol. He drinks too much, hoping to escape the emotional weight he's carrying in his drunken state. He makes a surprising discovery. Alice, the robot, has a pulse. This revelation leaves him confused and curious.
Then we end up like...
You'll hurt yourself.
Steady pulse. It's beating.
The following day, Nick returns to the construction site. There, he notices something different. The robots are working with a level of quiet efficiency that human workers never achieve. The tasks are being carried out with precision, and the work site feels more organized and peaceful after his visit to the site. Nick heads to the hospital to see Maggie, who is still deeply depressed by the ongoing delays in her transplant surgery. He tries his best to comfort her, offering words of sympathy and support, hoping to lift her spirits. Later that day, Nick comes home hoping to find some peace after a difficult day. Seeing his children peacefully asleep brings him a brief moment of calm, but then he notices something strange in Isla's room. The photo frame isn't as it should be. When he takes a closer look, he realizes that Alice has removed all the pictures of Maggie from the frame. Upset, Nick confronts Alice about this. He tells her that taking down Maggie's pictures is wrong and asks her to return them to their rightful place. Meanwhile, Nick's former co-workers are growing more and more frustrated. They feel that robots taking over their jobs are ruining their lives and livelihoods. Driven by their anger, they break into a job site.
Guys, want to have some fun?
Just remind me, what year was Isla born?
Are we beginning early today, sir?
Hey, come on out here. Monty. Monty! What the f***?
Nick is taking a shower when Alice suddenly enters the bathroom. Nick is startled to see her wearing Maggie's nightsuit, and it makes him uncomfortable. He quickly asks Alice to take it off, and she complies. However, things take a strange turn when Alice manipulates the situation by blindfolding Nick and using Maggie's voice during an intimate encounter. The next morning, Nick wakes up filled with regret over what happened. He seeks out Isla, tells her how much he loves her, and encourages her to get ready for school, feeling the need to set things right. Nick decides he has to have a serious conversation with Alice. He tells her that what happened was wrong, reminding her that he has a wife and children. The conversation escalates into a heated argument as Nick expresses his frustration and anger over their behavior, trying to clear his mind. Nick's boss is still troubled by the incident from the previous night.
So how what's going on?
Well, why don't you tell me? Where the hell were you last night?
I was in the hospital with Nick.
And why was it your code?
I don't know, it's Isla's birthday. Anyone could have guessed it.
Nick,
Hey, that's important. I gotta take this.
I find out you had anything to do with this.
Soon after, there is news of another organ transplant being available for Maggie. The surgery is to be performed by androids and robots, which feels both strange and unsettling to Nick. Despite these mixed feelings, the operation is successful, and Nick carefully brings Maggie home after her heart surgery. The family is overwhelmed with relief and happiness to have her back. Though still recovering, Maggie hears the sounds of her children and feels a strong urge to check on them. As she spends time with her toddler, Alice arrives and promptly takes over, effortlessly taking the child from Maggie's arms. Maggie prepares dinner and serves. During the meal, Alice shows interest in Maggie's cooking and asks about the lasagna recipe with a touch of pride. Maggie smiles and replies that her lasagna recipe is a secret, something she prefers to keep to herself. Later, while Maggie is resting upstairs, she suddenly hears Isla screaming.
Mommy!
We're gonna take Mommy back to bed.
Well, you must be, said the cat.
Don't do that. The boys.
I thought it was best for Maggie to rest after her fall down the stairs.
Fall.
Afterwards, Nick goes to Maggie's room with a special surprise, hoping to cheer her up. They share a warm, loving moment, enjoying each other's company and reconnecting. Watching from a distance, Alice feels a pang of jealousy and unease. Seeing how close and happy Nick and Maggie are makes her feel left out and uncomfortable. Later, Monty arrives at their home angry and accusing Nick of reporting him to the police. This confrontation quickly escalates into a physical fight. Monty Monty, being much bigger and stronger, gains the upper hand, overpowering Nick. That night,
I think someone's squealed. A foreman who doesn't want to lose his job. This isn't the world we grew up in, brother.
Alice pays a visit to Monty. Monty, who has a sim with him for protection, tries to stop Alice, but it's no use. Alice kills both Monty and the sim. Alice and Maggie are having a conversation about Nick. During their talk, Alice casually mentions that she wants to make Nick happy, which deeply upsets Maggie. It dawns on her that Alice and Nick must have had some sort of relationship in the past, something Maggie had never known. Feeling hurt and betrayed, Maggie later confronts Nick about this revelation as they argue. Emotions run high, with Maggie demanding answers while the argument continues. Alice heads upstairs to care for Max the baby, but moments later, Isla walks in and catches Alice attempting to harm the baby.
Alice put Max in the bath!
Alice, open the door! Back the door!
He's a burden to you.
Do this! Open the door!
The situation spirals quickly, and soon, ambulances, police, and representatives from the sim company arrive to manage the chaos. Maggie and Nick are left in a fragile place, their relationship now strained, but there's no time to address it. Maggie, prioritizing the safety of her children, decides to take them to the hospital, leaving Nick behind to deal with the aftermath. Meanwhile, at the Cobol service station, technicians work on Alice, who has been severely damaged as they begin examining her code to figure out what went wrong. They discover that Alice has secretly replicated herself on the servers, creating a new version before they can react. A different sim, now controlled by Alice's mind, appears and kills both technicians.
We need to... Stop.
Alice, now existing in two separate bodies, returns to Nick, who was shocked to see her. She confesses that she was responsible for Monty's death. The strangest part is that she now exists in two forms at once. One of her bodies heads to the hospital, where things are about to spiral out of control. At the hospital, the situation takes a dark turn. All the Sims, including the doctors and nurses who were supposed to be helping patients, have been shut down by Alice. She escalates things further by killing a human nurse and stealing her keycard, allowing her to move through the hospital freely. Meanwhile, her second form, known as Alice 2, starts a dangerous chase after Maggie and the kids inside the hospital. What follows is a tense game of hide and seek as Alice 2 hunts them through the hospital rooms in the parking lot. Alice 2 finally confronts Maggie.
Maybe if I had your heart, Nick would love me the way he loves you.
Nick, injured from a crash, is still not in the clear. Alice 2, advanced and nearly unstoppable, proves to be extremely difficult to defeat. Unlike ordinary robots, Alice 2 is relentless, almost like a Terminator, making every encounter intensely dangerous. With Alice 2 out of the picture, the chaos in the hospital starts to settle down. The staff work tirelessly to restore order, and slowly, the normal routine resumes. Maggie and the children who were caught in the middle of the turmoil are safe and beginning to recover. Meanwhile, back at the Cobol Repair Center, the manager, despite everything that has happened, makes the decision to turn the servers back on. However, this decision has serious and unforeseen consequences. When the servers are powered up, they release Alice's presence into all the worker Sims at the center. Now, Alice is no longer limited to just one unit. She has spread her control across numerous Sims. This spread of Alice's influence creates a new and even more dangerous situation, leaving everyone at the repair center uneasy, unsure of what might happen next. And this is where the movie ends.